Let's Go Here YouTube channel and welcome, oh my god, every time, come on, seriously, right, we're just going to click through all of this and I'll get back to my intro in just a second once this friggin' tower will let me have my time to speak.
So, I've had to take over this recording and watch through my footage, basically because as we said, we had some audio problems going into this game. For some reason I'd updated the OBS software and it didn't play ball straight away, so it should be alright for now, but for this recording it wasn't. So basically I'm going to talk you through every part of this, because you might hear a bit of mumbling from my other voice, it just didn't record properly. So basically what we're going to do, we're working our way up to cave number 7, which is the bird tower. One of my... I don't like it very much. It's not one of my favourite ones at all. What we're doing at the moment here, though, is we're going to get the third song for the ocarina, and it's a very important one. It's the one that progresses the storyline the most. You've got to go through this signpost maze to be able to open up a door to be able to allow you to go into receiving the song, basically. And it's an inventive way of doing stuff like this. It really is. It's quite fun, actually. I find stuff like that quite fun. It was something new that I'd never seen before, and I thought it was very, very cool. So it's also quite annoying as well, though, because if you haven't done it before and you get a bit lost, basically you've got to line yourself up literally with the sign that is, say, up from you, like that one just was. So in the next screen there'll be a sign that is exactly in line with that one, which is what I think we're going to next, if we can get up, and there's that sign right there, and so on and so on. It's really, really cool. Used to test my patience as a kid, but I got around it quite well, alright in the end. But yes, it's a very important one to move on the storyline with your character and such like that, and obviously to get to the 7th cave. Now, the 7th cave isn't a favourite of mine because I always struggled with it. I really, really did. I was quite bad at it, to be honest with you. But it's one of those. You've got to do it, because to be fair, as bad as this one is, it's nowhere near as bad as the 8th cave when we finally get onto the 8th cave. I'm not looking forward to having to do that one. But we shall move on. It is quite a groovy little song that we do get. Get a nice little performance as well from Three Frogs, I believe it is, if I remember rightly. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure you'll see in just a second once we get this final signpost out of the way. The doorway or stairway opens and we can go down into the little lair where they are gathered, basically. And you'll see straight away, I think it's frogs, but I'm not entirely sure. And they'll basically perform a nice little song. It's not the best sound quality, let's be honest, but yeah, I think you can tell it's not the best sound quality, but this is what we were dealing with MIDI and such like that back in the day. So yes, quite funny though, but a very important song as well. What were they on when they were coming up with this? So we've achieved the third and final song. It's called The Frog's Song of Soul. It's a very moving tune. It can even liven up unliving things, which is a very good clue. I never went to it in earlier on in the game, but obviously I'll show you straight away, is that we go and open the rooster's grave, and you play the song, basically, which is what we're going to do next. We play the song, and I think you get like a spirit will start flying around in just a couple of seconds. So like from top of the screen, there's obviously a little spirit that comes flying around and such like that as well. It will eventually go into the bones of the rooster and it will just poof, and alive he comes. So we take the rooster up to Mount Tamaranch, and basically, I keep saying basically a lot, but this used to confuse me quite a lot, because there are some parts of this that you literally couldn't get to, and it'll obviously come to it in a second or two, where you actually need the rooster. But what I've done here is basically you go out and you see where the key for the next cave is with this one here. So you need the rooster for this for pretty obvious reasons. You could jump around that area. You could move the stones around this area as well, and you could make your way through, but it's the next part. There's no way that you could get around this whole black area without that rooster. So you take the rooster, you obviously successfully go and pick up the key for the next cave. So we've got the bird key, and we can eventually get into the tower. So this part as well was a little bit where there is a way that you can get all 5 chests, and I don't exactly remember how you could do it. I've only ever been able to open 4, and I think that's all I was able to do at this point as well. So I was only ever able. That's the right way. I was only ever able to open 4. I've never been able to open all 5, and I've never decided to spend a lot of time looking at guides and stuff of how to actually do it. But I think you might get some sort of reward for being able to do it. I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's one of those. Yeah, it could be a nice little reward, but at the end of the day, it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. We eventually find ourselves up at the near the entrance anyway, to the bird tower, and it obviously doesn't look like it's got a doorway or anything like that, but it is a nice little clever tower. Some excellent architecture work here to be able to get a massive tower that turns, and in what turns out to be one of the most frustrating caves in this game for me, because there's one part, like Eagle's Tower is just not a nice level for me. It's never been a nice one for me. I've never enjoyed it. It's never been one of these things that I've looked at and thought, oh, I can't wait to get to that one. It really does annoy me. Now you look at the map and you can see it's on 4 levels, which means you've got 4 floors. But there are certain things in this level that you have to be able to do or knock down, and that includes these things called, obviously, pillars. There's 4 pillars that you have to knock down with this ball that you get, which will obviously come on later in the footage as well. But you'll basically have to knock these pillars down. You knock all 4 down, it knocks all the levels down, and it's the only way that you're actually able. You have to knock these pillars down. Otherwise, you can't actually get to the boss, the final level. You can't get to the final boss. You can do everything else, but you will never be able to get to the final boss level and stuff like that. So it's really important, actually. So obviously right there you can see the ball that we've actually collected, and you can see the tower. Well, not the tower, one of the pillars. And basically you take that ball, you take the ball, and you aim it perfectly, and you smack it at the pillar. And that pillar is now gone. There's 3 left to go. So that's basically what I've got to do to every single pillar. It's important of throwing that ball there as well, because now it means that I can get to the other pillar, which is just over here, jump over the spaces as well, trying to be nice and clever about it, and, you know, getting injured as well. But it's all part and parcel. It also comes with the most spectacular throw of this ball, right onto the spikes, but there's literally nowhere else to throw it. So if you throw it the other way, it'll knock the pillar down, but it'll also go down through one of those mysterious holes. There goes pillar number 2. If it goes down one of those mysterious holes, it takes ages to find it. Now we come to the midway boss, who actually turns out to be the biggest one as well, but with a different animal as well. So basically we go through this, and he summons these birds that come into different patterns. And they'll basically they'll fly in different formations at you, and you basically have to take them all out in one of these movements as well. So when they're in a different formation, they'll come in. If you don't take them all out, they'll just keep coming back. So you've got to make sure that in one of these, when they're flying at you, that you take them all out at the same time. Or not necessarily the same time, but in the same, you know, in the same attack. So like this one here, I think this is where we actually get them all. And it means that he then flies away, and he's, you know, beat my brothers and all this lot, and he'll make you pay and all this sort of stuff. But it leads into the next area quite well. It means now we can get through to pillar number 3, which leads nicely into pillar number 4 as well. Nice and smooth. And obviously now here comes pillar number 4. We've seen it before when we jumped through in the first one, and then you'll see the little animation now. All 4 pillars are gone, which now means that somehow this tower has kept intact but has dropped its levels nicely in line, which means that we can now go up to the area and climb up the steps and get up here as well and fight this stupid eagle. Now this fight was actually a lot longer than I'm actually going to show you. This fight was about 10 minutes long because I was just getting stuff wrong. I was just getting stuff so badly wrong about the attacks, and if you get blown off the tower, it resets the enemy. So like there's an attack that he does where it like just flaps his wings at you, and will just continue to flap his wings until you get blown off the tower. I kept forgetting the shield that we picked up in this level. You pick up this shield, and obviously it can hold you back. Now that means that we've obviously gotten through this one, but that was a really, really difficult battle, mainly down to my stupidity and non-knowledge of what I was actually meant to be doing. A lot of that is a common theme in most of the games and stuff that I play. So obviously we get the heart and we go back in to the tower. I forgot where I was going at this point. There we go, we go back into the door. We drop down on here, and we should now be able to go and get, I think, what was it? Was the harpsichord? I can't remember now. You've got the organ of evening calm. That was the one. Nice arpeggios. Even with audio problems, I will still appreciate the arpeggios that we have there. And obviously the message that we get after getting this ocarina, the music of the ocarina leads. So basically, that's very, very vague, but I know where it's going. Cave number 8, not my most favourite one. It's Turtle Rock. I never... one of those as a kid, I never completed it. It just boggled my mind. I couldn't figure out how to do it. But I'm going to be tying up a lot of other things in this episode as well. I'm going to be going right through the Secret Seashells. You go through the Secret Seashells part of Zelda, Link's Awakening, and if you get as many as you can, it takes a long time to do. I'm not going to show you all of it, but it takes a long time, and you get the upgrade on your... You notice that your sword says L1. Well, there's an L2 sword as well that goes along with your bracelet and your shield, and it's a very, very powerful sword. If you have full hearts, it throws out like some sort of like shadow sword at your enemies, so you can get them from far away as well, which is very, very useful. But apologies for the audio problems in this one and me having to talk over it, but I hope you've enjoyed it regardless. I hope you liked the video. Sorry it's been a while, it took me a while to get it out, but please like the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will catch you later. Thanks very much for watching.